Okay, we are rocking with a new camera today. So if you're seeing more pores than you're used to, do not even say anything about it. Didn't mean to cosplay a cowboy either. This was unintentional. I don't know what I was thinking when I put on this outfit, other than cowboy. Like, I don't know what I expected. The other day on Instagram, I put a reel up that was a compilation of self-portraits over the course of 12 years. I've done probably hundreds. I don't know, I love to draw myself. What can I say? It's self-indulgent, it's fun. It's the only thing I trust myself to draw correctly, because I know if I make it ugly, who cares? It's me. In the post, I joked that I should rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, but I think what would be more fun is a tier system. If you're not familiar with a tier list, it's rating groups of a grouping of objects. It's rating a group of objects from S to E. So S, A, B, C, D, E, S being the absolute best. In doing this tier system, I am using some qualifiers to score my self-portraits. It's not so much just the quality of the art, even though that does play a part in the judgment. It's also creativity and likeness. Now, likeness does not mean it has to look exactly like me, but it has to have some essence of me. Does that make sense? You've got to be able to tell it's me from something going on there. This is a really interesting exercise. Something you'll notice is a change of hair. Most of all, change of perception of self, of course, but a change of hair. I've had every hairstyle that someone of my hair type possibly can. So this is just kind of a funny, different little video. Shut up. Oh, it's just a funny, different type of... It's a different type of video. So enjoy. Okay, drawing number 1. This is what we're working with. I think I was probably 13 or 14 when I drew this. Clearly we're going anime mode. This was when I had finally gotten good at drawing anime, or at least I felt that I had. I had this little haircut. Oh, this little haircut. It was like short with layers. It was my first like edgy haircut. And I was really into, I guess like what they would call now like coquette style. I actually really like this one. It's just anime, like, it's cute though. I definitely didn't look like this. This looks like a bug, okay? I did not look like this, but it's cute. So for that, I am going to put drawing number 1 into B tier. Okay, okay. Yes, this one, I think what we need to take note of right away is the fact that Nick Cage is repeated on the sweater, okay? This was the time of, I discovered Tumblr. I had side bangs. I thought I was funny and cute by doing this. And this is when I sort of, like, this was my Tumblr style. Yes, big eyes, little red nose, kind of quintessential Tumblr. I hate this one. It's a very personal reaction. I don't think it's terrible. Like it's kind of cute. Can I say that? It's kind of cute. It's got a sense of humor. Like it's not funny now, but it was funny for the time. Does it look like me? No. It's getting a lot of negative reviews here. So I am gonna have to unfortunately put this in D tier. This one was not too long after drawing number 2. The difference you're seeing here is this was drawn with pencil in my sketchbook, and I had discovered like indie boho. I was listening to Fleet Foxes and I was sporting, as you can see here, a flower crown. This image is so dated. The pattern on the cardigan, chicken nuggers, doesn't look like me again. I mean, it's not gonna look like me because it's so stylized. This is tough because I want to put it in D with the other one because I've got another funny shirt. I love, I was like curling my hair. I put layers in my hair. My little sweater paws, like, oh, these sleeves are too long. I have to also, I'm sorry, I also have to put it in D. Okay, here we are we're giving like, I just discovered I'm bisexual. I'm sporting a hoodie which represents the Interweb series. I'm starting to really give some attitude here, which I think is like a core thing that when I draw myself, it fits with my personality. So I think that's cute. Plain background. It doesn't look like me. I know I just got my pixie cut and I was so excited about it, but this is not giving me what it needs to be giving me. I can't just keep putting these all in D, and it's definitely not E, but does it deserve to be in C? The forearm's really long. I'm not gonna critique the anatomy of these. I was 15 here, probably 16 maybe. Okay, let me throw my Apple Pencil. I think this one's kind of quirky and cute, so I'll put it in C, okay? Just to not, I might move things around a little, but for now it's gonna go in C. This one here is like we're doing whimsical. This is when I was really into like galaxy print, as we all were, and I had just figured out how to take my pixie cut and kind of turn it into like a Tracer Overwatch mohawky thing. I remember I went to England this year and my eyebrows were too small. I was shaving my eyebrows into nothing. I like the color choices in this one. It's kind of unique. I don't love how the eyes are green. Weird choice. I think I thought I was doing something there. Does it look like me? No, but I think I was trying to capture my basic eye shape and like my nose shape. I can see where the logic was. It's kind of sweet to me. I don't think I react viscerally to this one, so I will put it in B. God, I hate this one. I'm being too hard on myself, aren't I? Because then I kind of look at it a little bit more and there's something a little sweet about it. This was when I was very much into like grid print and black and white and CMYK. My haircut has grown out of the pixie cut and we're heading into bob territory. Do I think it's fugly? Yes, but I'm not judging it based on haircut quality. The cyan and the magenta is kind of cool. I think it could have been done better. It looks like I drew on the wrong layer, apparently, because you could see the sketch. And I didn't bother to kind of erase that, or maybe it was a creative choice. I don't know. What's the scarf? Hey, what's the infinity scarf? I did not have a scarf like that. Why? What's going on? This does not look like me whatsoever. This is another person on Tumblr, but not me. I am also liking the attitude of this one. It's funny because it kind of looks like the other one that's in the C tier right now, but I think this is another instance of a C tier. I went from absolutely hating it to, okay, it's okay in C. I don't know. Normalize changing your mind. I feel disgust when I see this one. I want to take this thing and I want to throttle it. I'm still in my grid print shit. I started wearing fake glasses at this time and I had a really short bob. I think this is pretty close to how I look, besides the eyes being 1 inch apart and absolutely massive. I'm still going bug mode here. I think this is the beginning of high school. Like, oh God, no, it's not the beginning of high school. It's like the middle of high school. That's embarrassing. Okay. I cropped the rest of the drawing out. Honestly, it was kind of a cool composition, but I just wanted to focus in on the portrait itself. The band-aid on the nose is kind of cute. The peach, I was all about peaches, who wasn't at this time. This one, I think, I just hate how it looks. The face, I can't do it. Like, something seriously wrong with this. So I'm afraid this is going to also have to go into D. So this doesn't look like me whatsoever. What? What were we thinking here? I was trying to take my head and squash it. My eyes are huge. My nose is kind of like upturned. My mouth doesn't look like that. The art is getting a little better. I have to put this in D. Yeah, I can't give it any higher than D, and it's honestly making me want to move the last one up to C. Okay, yeah, we're adjusting. That's gonna go up to C. This one was probably made mere weeks I see some hair growth, but I'm trying something with the Copic markers. This does not look like me. This is the most egregious one as far as not looking like me, I feel. It is just, that is not me. I am Wasian, I'm not that Wasian. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've gone from 1/4 to 1/2. The handling of like the jacket and the jeans with the white pen, and I have this clear backpack. This is another one that really dates itself. Like this, the primary colors and the squiggles. I almost have to put this in E. This might be the worst one. We can adjust it later. It's not creative enough, it doesn't look like me. The art itself is like meh. I was really excited to get to this one because if you watched my sketchbook video where I go through a bunch of old sketchbooks, I come to this drawing and I talk about how I'm really fond of it, and I still am. Does it look like me? I don't know. I don't think I knew how to perceive myself until I was like 20. It is kind of a stylized version of myself. I'd say the key elements are there, and I really did have like this hair, those clear glasses, the nails, the colors, and I was all about like vaporwave future funk aesthetics at this time. And I like this one a lot, actually. In fact, it may or may not be S tier. Oh, I don't know if I can give it S. I think I can put it in A. Yeah, I'm just really fond of this one, and I think it really represented who I was at the time, and I felt really proud of it when I drew it. Just based on that, we'll go A on this one. This is kind of a weird one that I chose to include because I was doing a lot of sketchbooking that looked like this at the time. This was probably going into college, or you know what, maybe this was actually freshman year of college. I believe I started to perceive myself more accurately at this point in time. I think these are kind of fun. I don't think that they look like me. Like if you showed me these people, not me. The knees maybe. I was really feeling some type of way about my knees at this time. Why did I say I had ugly? See, what was going on with my perception of self at this time that I thought I had ugly knees? My knees are fine. There's plenty of other things to pull apart, not the knees. It's kind of fun. Kind of hard to rate this one. I just kind of threw it in there. I think that this can probably go in C. This one was my business card, my first ever business card I had ever made. And I'm going to try to focus in on the actual portrait itself and not the stuff around it, even though I think that really adds to it. But I need to try to stay as unbiased with like the surrounding stuff as possible. It's a very cartoonish, stylized version of myself, but I feel that it kind of represented my aura. What am I, someone who says aura now? It represented sort of my idea of myself. I don't mind this one. In fact, I think I like it quite a bit. Why don't I just say I like it? Why do I have to say I don't mind it? This was like, I'm going illustrator mode. I've just discovered what it means to be a contemporary illustrator, and now I'm like using some sort of wacky style. I will put this one in A tier. And I've just changed my mind. I'm moving it down to B. I don't know why I looked at that in A and it doesn't quite deserve to be there, even though I do like it. Because the next one, this might be A for me. This was a part of my like meet the artist at the time, and this was like the end of freshman year of college. I think this kind of looks like me. It definitely looked like me at the time. I like the pose. I was like every other person that was an art student in 2017, wearing the Keith Haring muscle shirt. I was growing out my armpit hair at this time. It's got a little bit of attitude. I was doing some like cunty eyebrows at this time. And so I think that this is an A tier for me. I threw in a couple of projects, like homework assignments, where I had to like draw myself in front of a mirror. And this was one of them. Oh, sorry, the cat is going absolutely buck wild on his like scratching this. Yeah, this one's okay. It's not really creative. I do think that it is an accurate representation of myself. It could be better. I've started to capture the mouth meat, which I think is a key part of my likeness. So I'll put it in B. You're hilarious. You're so funny with your tiny sunglasses. This was the time for that. This was funny at the time. I used to wear these tiny sunglasses and like, I don't know. People thought it was funny, maybe not. Maybe they were lying to me, but I think people thought it was funny. For just that alone, I kind of want to knock it down to, you know, at least a C tier. But I kind of enjoy the fact that it is so minimal. I think that I got my likeness in a stylized way. There's something that is appealing about this to me, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I'm just really enjoying the style and how it's kind of graphic, and I hate that I'm almost wanting to put it in A tier. No, B tier. No, A tier. It's a plain white background, but does that really, are we really judging on that? I guess I need to decide. I'm the judge. I'll leave it in A tier for now. This one is cute. I was really starting to experiment with style and try stretching proportions starting at this point. I think this was middle of sophomore year of college, and I like it. Yeah, it's fun. B? But if the last one went in A, this one can't. This is really tricky. I'm finding this to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I'll put it in A. Does it look like me? No. My head is not that shape. Yeah, it's gonna live at B. I think it doesn't deserve A. As you can see from the text to the side, this was another Meet the Artist situation. We are starting to go fugly mode, okay? We are starting to take our proportions and stretch them and make it weird, and for that, I kind of appreciate this. My neck is like, what are we doing? I'm not really a long-necked person, so I'm not sure why I decided to stretch that part of my anatomy, but I like the face, I like the colors, I like the angles. This one's very creative to me. This is an A tier. I think this is a very accurate representation of myself. Here's a painting that I did for one of my figure drawing classes of myself at the end of sophomore year. I like it. I like parts of it. It looks like me. It's just kind of plain. There's like nothing to write home about. I think this deserves B tier for that. Sorry I don't have more to say on that. It's okay. It's good. It's okay. This might be my first S tier. Guys, I adore this drawing. I remember drawing this in front of the mirror, and it was like the first time that I felt like I had captured myself. Yeah, I like the colors. I think it looks like me. Contrary to what you might think, I think it looks like me. I remember my dad talking to me about it and being like, he was like, that looks really fucked up. Good job, like, I like it. I think that a lot of people thought this one was funny, and I think it's funny too, but I also think it's how I see myself a little bit. So that is going to go ahead and be our first S tier self-portrait. We are now entering an era. The next, I think 4 to 5 drawings all kind of look like this. Personality-wise, hobby-wise, I was entering a completely new era. I was getting really outdoorsy. I was getting into rock climbing and hiking, and I started growing out my hair and my bangs in hopes that I might backpack and I didn't want to have to deal with bangs. It's kind of ugly and weird, and the colors are like eye strain but earthy. This one in particular has elements that I think look like me, but elements that are not me. Like the nose. Does my nose look like that? It's not quite as pointy. Like, this is a really pointy nose. It's cool. It's not my favorite. I would go ahead and put this into C, possibly D tier. Honestly, I think this is a D tier drawing for me. It just doesn't do much for me. And I think that there are other portraits coming up that are of a similar style that represent me better. Looking at this drawing, I was going through something at this time, romantically that it was at its peak when I looked like this. It's right before I got my perm and my bangs were completely grown out. I was wearing these long wooden earrings. I was drawing tiny little hands. I can feel what I was going through at this time looking at this image, which automatically makes me want to rate it lower, but I need to stay neutral here. I think it looks like me. I think I've done a good job of stylizing my face. I've got the right amount of Asian in there. I was really doing the tubular arms, tiny hands at this time, and I enjoy this, but I don't think there's anything crazy or special about it. The hairs are kind of gorgeous and wispy. That is an outfit I would wear, and I'm wearing my little like tan backpack. I'll put this one in C tier. It's kind of, yeah, C tier. This one feels like kink. I don't know how else to say it. This one feels weird to me. Okay, I was really doing the tube arms, wacky style, like Adventure Time inspired. Why are my toes red? Why is my boob doing that? You know? I have my perm at this point. I do think it is a decent, like, that's kind of what my face is doing, but there's just, I don't, like looking at it kind of just makes me uncomfortable. I'm gonna put it in D for don't draw like that anymore. I am fond of this one. I had cut my perm short. This was when something was happening with the gender. I bought this shirt from REI that is featured in the drawing that woke me up. Don't know how else to say it. I put on that shirt, I had this hair. Something was occurring. I've drawn my little smile lines, which I've always been kind of self-conscious about, and I've started to try to figure out a way to incorporate that into drawings. It's very difficult to do without making yourself look old. I think this is okay. This is pretty good. It doesn't super look like me, but I think that there are parts like the head shape I'm starting to get more accurate with, and the little smile line I like. The nose is crazy. We did not need to be drawing that type of nose. I needed to move away from like the Captain Knuckles nose. I think it's a fun portrait. I love the colors. I think it's really starting to feel like me. So I will put this one in A tier. I was so excited to get to this one because I already know it's gonna go in S tier. And some of you might look at this and be like, okay, I don't know. I think I'm very endeared to this one. This was when I started my foraging and mycology journey. Like I really started to get into fungus and mushrooms, and I got a short perm. So my hair was short, but I got it permed. Duh. I just love the energy in this one. I think that it really feels like me. Yeah, I have hearts in my eyes when I look at this one. I'm really fond of the texture, and it was a pencil drawing that I had scanned and then colored digitally, I was really doing that a lot at this time. I like the eyes, I like my little smile, my little chin. The chin stays pretty consistent. All throughout college and like afterwards, I was very aware of my chin. Another possible S tier. I think that this looks like me. I think I actually used reference for this one where I had taken kind of a similar photo of myself and then stylized it. This is all traditional media. This is like watercolor, colored pencil, ink, gouache. And this really was the beginning of like the dark academia, nature, cottage court, whatever. And I think it really encapsulates that well. I like the little side eye, like that's feeling like me. And the chin, we've gone full chin mode in this one. I don't think there's anything that I dislike about this. It feels like an imp, which I'm not giving imp anymore, but I was giving imp at the time. So I think this is possibly another S tier. First self-portrait, post-graduation, post-COVID, and I went blonde. As you do when you graduate college in 2020. We were doing style here. It's a little bit too much for me. I think that having the no whites of the eyes and just like a lid and the iris is pretty accurate for the type of eyes that I have, especially when I smile like that. My whites just kind of disappear. We're doing Wasian accuracy here. We're also doing the smile line. I think that the big head, tiny body is like freaking me out a little. Tiny hands, tiny body, tiny feet, hairy legs. I like the texture. I like the colors. This is, I think it's a B tier. for me. Yeah, it belongs in B. Like, oh, we've gone full dark academia. Like, academic, ghost, Victorian. I think it was probably near October when this occurred. It's pretty cool looking. I think it kinda looks like me. I've shrunken the nose, I've shrunken the mouth, I've kinda given myself more of a jawline, but it's cool. It's weird to me now because this just does not feel like me anymore. But at the time, it was kind of a smash hit. It's rendered really nicely, and I think it's very creative. So I will put this one in A tier. At the time, I thought I was really doing something with this. I think I broke out my gouache for like the first time in a while, and it's showing. Doesn't really look like me. The hood is cool. The aesthetic was very much me at the time. Just kind of falls flat for me. It's okay. I'm gonna put it in C tier. No, I'm gonna move it down to D. I love changing my mind. It is going to stay in D. Big fan of this one. This was another gouache attempt later down the line, and I was looking at a photo of myself. I love the chunks of paint. I love the texture happening. I think it looks a lot like me. I like how the right eye disappears into space. I like the little gold chain of the necklace. Yeah, this is S tier for me. The way that I'm reacting to this, it has to be an S tier. I really like this. I was blonde again. I think I was about to go through some sort of breakup. And that is, yep, that's gonna go ahead and be in S tier. This one was a part of a larger image where I think I took maybe like 6 or 7 outfits I had worn over the course of a month or whatever and drawn them. I think it's really fun, and I'm starting to feel a little, it's hard to judge this one because I like the way the outfits are drawn. We're kind of going back to the big head, tiny body, but not quite as big head, tiny body. The proportions are a little bit better. It kind of looks like me. This looks like Saoirse Ronan fan art. Like we've made me completely white here, at least on the far left one. I think they all kind of looked different, which is messing with me because I just didn't get the likeness consistent throughout the whole drawing, which is kind of making me judge it harsher. At the time, I think I really loved it, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, eh. So I will put this one in C tier. You know, if only I wouldn't have done dot eyes here. It kills it for me because everything else I like about the drawing. We are going big head, tiny body. I had cut my hair into a tiny mini mullet and bleached it. I really like this drawing. I like the basket of mushrooms. I love the colors. I love the handling of it. The dot eyes. I know I tried other eyes too, but I ended up with the dot eyes. And I just really, I'm not fond of that. If you cover up the eyes, everything else about the drawing, I like. Does that mean it goes in B tier, do we think? Or does that mean it goes in A tier? I know I can feel you saying it's A tier. Yeah, it's gotta go in A tier. Okay, fine, you've convinced me, it's going in A tier. Something a little different here. But just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. It is a very abstracted version of myself. I had shaved the sides of my head and I had kind of a mohawk. There's something really cool about it. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm loving it, but it's not S tier. That's a watercolor texture I had made and then scanned in and kind of like cut out. I like the shapes, I like the colors. Okay, A tier. I don't like looking at this one. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I remember what I was trying to do here. I was trying to use the style I was using to illustrate Arden High, which was this graphic novel I had illustrated. It's just not doing it for me. There's so many things I don't like about it. Like, it's giving DreamWorks face. It's giving me the ick. And like my tattoo looks like chest hair. And maybe it just does, okay? Maybe that's just the truth of it. I just don't like this drawing. I actually think this has to go in E. Something's not right. Something is wrong here. I feel like I need to stop thinking that things are S tier because my immediate reaction to this is S tier because I really, really like this drawing, and I'm trying to ignore the like elements around it because I think that does add to it. I had screenshotted this from a video because I had little animated elements around and then music playing. So I need to try to forget about that and just focus in on the actual self-portrait, because does it look like me? I don't know, kind of. I want to say yes. I'm just really attached to it. I don't know if my legs are that skinty, but it was kind of the boxy style, like we were doing angles. I think I could feel comfortable putting this in A. It's like, oh, it's between an S and an A for me. But it has to stay in A because I just think I really like it, but there are things that aren't quite me. It's like really cool if it was someone else. I was a ginger at this time. If you look at a couple of my old videos, I think there's only one where I'm a ginger. That was very short-lived. This was my author photo for the back of the graphic novel that I had just mentioned, Arden High. I did both of the authors and myself. It's Shakespeare. I like my finger tattoos. The wink is kind of cute. I don't know if it really looks like me. Now I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder and thinking it looks exactly like me. What? I think because my hair is that exact style right now, so I don't know. It's kind of D tier for me. Sorry, Arden High. Love you to death, but there's something when I draw myself in that style that it's not giving. This was my icon for a while, and I was trying something with the eyes touching, like the almond eyes touching, that now I'm looking at it and I'm kind of despising it. My mouth is so tiny here. That is what my hair looked like. I had just gotten my hair cut into like the curtain bangs, Leonardo DiCaprio. I was about to move away from South Carolina and move to Illinois. So it's like, I'm fond of this. I just got my neck tattoo. I like the little particle effects around me, but the eyes, it was fun to try, but I don't know if this goes down in herstory as one of my favorites. C tier, yeah. This drawing I threw in the whole compilation kind of at the last minute because I forgot I was like ash blonde for just a second. It was literally probably a month that I was ash blonde, maybe a little over a year ago. This is a kind of style that I default to still, where it's kind of big head, tiny body, cartoonish, really quick. I think that the elements of where things are falling on my face does look like me. Now I'm convincing myself that you guys are gonna completely disagree with me and be like, you don't know what you look like. As simple as this drawing is, and I threw it in really last minute, I like it. I would almost say, I think this is B. This deserves to be in B tier for me, because this is nothing spectacular, but I am fond of it. Okay, this is sad. I drew this kind of recently, and I drew it on camera for a Patreon video, and the full drawing is my list of things that I like to draw, which is sort of a prompt thing that my agency does. And it's got this big long list of things that I like. It's all designed really well, but the actual drawing of myself, I ended up hating. Like, I do not like this. It vaguely looks like me. I mean, maybe it does. I can't tell what I look like. I can't tell. It's cute. It just doesn't feel like me. It doesn't feel like my style. It felt like I was trying something out, and it just, like, now that I look at it, I just don't feel anything for it. So I would say that this, unfortunately, lands in D tier. Ooh. I don't know. I feel bad for them. Sorry, guy. I can't. These drawings that I did of myself in my gym clothes, quick drawings. Didn't think anything of it. Posted it. Most liked post of the year. Huh? Hey guys, why? Hey guys, why were you so addicted to that? I mean, I guess I get it, because I am fond of these drawings. They were quick. So I guess I need to just stop trying, is the moral of the story. I do like them, not S tier like them, but A or B? I like it better than the last drawing. I like it better than a lot of this stuff in B, so I think it has to be in. Okay, my camera did just die and I have no idea what I was saying, and also the sun has decided to come back out and my camera might die again any second now. So I'm going to finish up this one and then make the final one quick. I think bottom line, this one is A tier. It's A tier because I feel like I'm representing my physique. We're going funny expression. I like the rendering style, I like that it's kind of loose, and I like that other people liked it. That's one thing you should know about me, I care what you think. Final drawing. This one is actually a drawing of myself that I have done for a podcast cover that I am going to be talking about soon, but basically I'm doing a podcast with Lee Ellickson. And so the little blonde hair that you see on the side, that's gonna go ahead and be Lee's head. But I cropped it so that I could keep you wanting more. This is quintessential me. I am biased because I just drew this. I think it looks like me. I hope, because it's so recent. There is nothing crazy going on. It's not super creative, it's a pretty simple style. It's somewhere in between like stylized and cartoon and anime and realism, maybe. Couldn't even tell you, and I'm the one that drew it. I've got one of my favorite shirts on. You can see my tattoos. I'm making an expression that I think I would make. I don't know if I can put this anywhere on the list today. I think some time needs to pass before I can figure out where it goes, because of course this is one of my favorites because it's the most recent, but I don't really know where it truly goes yet. So maybe I just need to do this again in like 5 years. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna wrap up before my camera dies again. Let me know your thoughts on myself. Go ahead and tell me if you think my own self-perception is completely incorrect. That's completely fine. Go ahead and tell me that. I'd also like to film another video in the near future where I look through old stuff, because searching for all of these portraits dug up some stuff on Tumblr I forgot that sort of existed, so maybe we could do like a going through old digital stuff. That's gonna take a lot of bravery on my part, just heads up. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment. I'm going to start begging for comments. I'm going to start begging you guys for comments and likes, as well as subscribing, because it really helps me out. Also check out my Patreon, that also really helps me out. That's what keeps me doing this stuff, is your support. So just talked about myself for, 45 minutes to an hour straight. So feeling a little sick. Okay. Bye-bye.